All right, coach. Second half of the season underway. Two games under your belt versus LIU. Both came away with victories. You got a game coming up, Frozen Fenway Saturday. Different experience, outdoor game. You've been in a couple of these. Just thoughts heading into the weekend. Opportunity for the players, the team itself. Just let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I think it's we're certainly happy with the way we started the second half of the season, and we know we have a very strong opponent up, on tap. We had some great games with Northeastern last year, and I know they have a lot of the same players back, and starts in goal with them with Devon Levi in net, and I think they've made some good additions on defense, and they're always dangerous up front with Moscovian and McDonough and Hughes, and just a lot of Fontaine, a lot of really good high-end skilled players up front. So they'll certainly be an opponent, a dangerous opponent for us this weekend. And that being said, playing at Fenway is always a special event for our players. I heard the other day, it's such an iconic venue, but Fenway's older than the NHL, which I didn't know, which I found interesting. So it's just going to be a fun day all around.
Awesome. We'll open up for questions. Daniel, you want to start us off?
Sure. Nice new digs there you got.
You like my new office?
Yeah.
A little different. Still putting it together.
How has the first, not even week, but these first few days been moving into the facility and just kind of having this be your new home base of operations?
Well, you can't hear it, but there's still some work going on in the background. It's been fantastic. I said to my assistants yesterday, I said the biggest difference, and I knew this was going to happen, was our meeting was at 12:30 yesterday, and we're going to have practice at 1:30, and at 10 o'clock there was probably 15 kids already here. I mean, because there's a lounge to hang out in, there's a weight room to stretch and work on different things, there's the training room that has cold tubs, and so it's just a place that you can hang out for a couple hours before practice. There's a lot to do. There's a shooting room, so it's a facility that's going to allow our kids, to be here more often. It's not going to be the cattle call it was, where they all come in together and they all leave together because there wasn't much to do, or it just didn't have the amenities. The Freitas just didn't have the amenities. It was a great building. It served its purpose, and now we're moving on to a more state-of-the-art facility here at the Toscano.
Go ahead, Bob.
Mike, any quirks yet to the rink that you guys have discovered? I mean, I'm sure it'll take a little time to try to figure that out.
Yeah, not really. It's been pretty like in the old rink, you couldn't rim a puck around the Zamboni side because it was going to come right back at your net. So we haven't found anything like that yet.
Okay. How do you think your team's played first two games overall, big picture, coming back from the break?
I thought we played pretty well down at Long Island. They're a very good opponent. And then I thought we played okay for two periods here. And in the third period, I thought we got a little sloppy and turned some pucks over that resulted in chances for them. We took some unnecessary penalties. Again, that's an area where we have to clean up. But overall, I was happy with the two wins.
Mike, it's Lori Riley from the Hartford Courant. I just wanted to ask you, do you prepare differently playing outside than inside? Is there anything you guys do that, going into the weekend at Fenway?
Not systems wise, Lori, typically. Like, we're not going to change our forecheck. We're not going to change the way we play defense. The basic foundation and identity of how we play doesn't change. I think the one thing that we do have to take into account is that the ice is going to get chippy. The ice isn't going to be what you're used to in an indoor facility. So at times you might have to just dump pucks instead of trying to make a play that is tough to make on bad ice. So that's probably what we're going to have to manage during the game.
Go ahead,
Thank-
Dan.
Do you think, having to maybe play a little bit more of a grinder game kind of, do you think you guys are able to handle that just based on the way that you normally play? You normally dump a lot of pucks in. It's not like you're deking guys out through the entire neutral zone to get in. So do you think that your team's built a little bit to handle rougher conditions on the ice?
Yeah, it can, but I think that's like, it's a good point. I guess in some ways it doesn't matter whether you're in indoors or outdoors. I thought the game got away from us a little bit last week because we were trying to make plays where plays wasn't an opportunity to try to make a play. The best play would have been to get the puck behind the defenseman instead of trying to force a play. And I heard Charlie McAvoy talking about that at post game after the Winter Classic. So I thought in the second period, they made better decisions with the puck and didn't try to force plays when they weren't there. So, I guess that's a pretty good point, Dan. We just have to make better decisions and probably be a little more cognizant of it at Fenway than you would when you're playing indoors.
Then obviously you have plenty of New England kids, and I'm sure plenty of kids that know what Fenway is, but do you have to, maybe some of the international kids, do you have to kind of explain a little bit or just talk about why Fenway is such a historic place and why this is so cool instead of just being another outdoor game?
I probably should, now that you mention it, considering I have so many kids from British Columbia, but I haven't. I just assume that, come on, they're all Red Sox fans, right? Like myself, but no, I don't. I haven't yet, but I think if they don't know, they do by now. I think the rest of the guys on the team will clue them in.
Mike, what about Matt Wood's progression so far? What have you liked about his progression?
I really like how he's competing for pucks, Bob. He's always been a high-end skill player, and you saw that on display, on the fourth goal that he scored last week on New Year's Day. Was a great goal, and it's a goal scorer's goal. But I really like how he's competing for pucks in all three zones. His battle level has been excellent and gotten better and better as the season's progressed.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Sticking with the freshman, it seems like Samu's really been coming along the last couple of weeks. What's he doing really well right now?
I think he's just figuring it out. I mean, it's for the North American kid, and especially for the American kid, they understand what college is all about, and any kid who's gone to prep school understands the curriculum in college isn't much different than what it is in prep school. For Samu, it's totally different. Academic curriculum, the lifestyle, and the style of hockey. They play on a much bigger rink over there than you do over here. So I think all of that's coming together, and you're starting to see the best version of him lately.
Then I know it's a few days away from the game, but health-wise, how are you guys doing?
Good. Yeah, today we're pretty good.
Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, Cav. You kind of alluded to this already, but just how about some of the local guys as they get ready? Jake and Ty. Are you feeling a buzz this week in practice and in the locker room?
Oh, I think so. I think the unfortunate thing is we're supposed to practice there tomorrow. I'm not sure we're going to be able to because of the weather. And if we can, it's not the end of the world, but I was kind of hoping to get out there because, there are some guys who won't get to play in the game. You can only dress, 19 skaters. So unfortunately, some guys won't get to dress for the game. And that's why I always like to practice the day before, because everybody can get out there and skate. And if that gets canceled, that'll be a bummer. But, Jake Flynn and Ty and Thomasinio and guys who grew up in that area, I think it's definitely a little extra special for them.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Kind of on that same thread, I'm sure you saw during the Winter Classic that they showed that photo of Charlie McAvoy at the previous Winter Classic at Fenway about 500 times during the game. Have any of your guys been to a frozen Fenway or a Winter Classic or anything like that?
I don't know. I have. Yeah, I was at the original one, and I think it was 2010. And then I'm lucky enough, this will be the fourth one that I've been able to coach in, but I don't think I think some of those guys maybe they may have played when they were, I know Flinny and Ty were both at Thayer. They might have played, and even Tom, when he was at St. Sebastian's, might have had a chance. I've got to ask him that if they played in high school. So one of the cool, I remember when they first did it, well, it would have been maybe, did they do it in 13? I think they did it in 13 or 14, somewhere around there. But at the time I had a connection to Ben Charrington, and he invited me out. He had a personal skate, and we played at like 9 o'clock one night, and with a bunch of his buddies, and it was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun going out there, and nobody was out there. We played a pickup game, and that was a lot of fun. But I think some of our guys, probably have played in high school. I got to ask him that today at practice.
Mike, any throwback attire for you on Saturday? Any Tobley cats on the bench?
Not for me. I'll have my Hooksy hat on.
Oh, that's even better. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Jim Penders granted me permission to wear one.
Oh, I didn't know he needed permission, but that's awesome.
I always got to check with Coach Penders.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Awesome. Anything else for Coach, guys?